Good morning. Back to the DAX. And a warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you who not seen me before, my name is Langers, and I am the very silly Scruffy trader. And why am I silly? It's very early morning, as you can see. I'm sitting in the dark, about to go get another coffee, and I'm waiting for the first setup on Morningstar. And Morningstar is just a series of videos that I'm building up to see if you can make a nest egg before you go to work. And it's really just a vlog of the results. Okay. And up to now, had its moments, but it's okay. It's ticking along. So this one will be very quick. Just flick this over so you can see it. It's predominantly on the DAX because the DAX is quite bouncy on a morning, and the idea is to trade between 6 AM and 8 AM, or at least have a trade ready to set and forget by 8 AM. Now, yesterday it was, I could have had a better trade, but it still paid me. And it's just one of those things. You can't win them all, and you can't get every ounce out of a trade, because the market will always be better than you. But I stuck to my discipline, and I was risk free at the point of being stopped out. So that was another part. It was all about account protection as well yesterday. So what we're looking at today, well, it's quite a difficult trade to pull today. It's very dirty, because as you can see, there's a lot of green, there's a lot of red, and it's sort of bouncing around a bit. So it's quite a difficult chart to read. Now, my overall view is this has a chance to squeeze down to the base of here. However, this chop, if you look at it, is stalled many times around this point, and it is a cluster on this side, and if I come across, it's there. So it's kind of at a tipping point, and looking at it, I do think it's going to push down, but I think it's going to bounce up first. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for, and this side is kind of confirming that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait and see what happens. My overall view, as I say, is to the downside. I'm looking for 10 pips, so if I just put a measuring tool on, just so you can see how far 10 pips is as a minimum, it's there. So I've got to kind of fill that box up, if you like. But if it goes above, it's there. So it's not too bad. But I need to see it show its hand first. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for. So this morning is more a waiting game than anything else. I want to see the initial burst, because there's been nothing happening since 6 o'clock this morning. It's now currently coming on 5 to 7. So I'm not going to put an order in just yet. I'm going to see what the initial burst is, then I'll start looking to place orders. Okay, so I'll leave the camera running, and I'll come back to you at the end. Okay guys, hit target, decent target as well, and as you can see it was pretty much in the right place. It's come down, it's now pushing back. I did kind of expect it to move back up on itself when we were talking earlier on, and it did. Came down, went back, and then down, and I need to kind of tighten it up a little bit just so the risk factor isn't as brutal, but anyway, it's gone to plan this morning, so long as is a happy boy. So let's have a quick look and see what this is all about today. Certainly made up for yesterday. Now we're at 596.45. We're still pretty brutal on our risks. Risk is just arbitrary at this moment in time. I just put in how do I explain this? Your risk is always going to be brutal on a small account. You've got no other choice. We're dealing with pennies, and certainly as you've just seen with the DAX, it can surge, and it'll surge in such a way it'll take out any tight stop. So you've got to be careful with it. All right. But that said, there's a difference between careful and stupid. You need to know where your pain thresholds are. What I do is I'll put in a maximum stop where enough is enough, that is it. But halfway up to that is a thinking stop, and a thinking stop is just where I'll reevaluate what's going on, and I'll either take half the trade off, in other words I'll scale out of a loss, or I'll just kill it altogether. You know, and that's kind of the thought process that goes through my mind. If I still believe the principles of why I went into the trade are there, I won't do anything. You know, I may even scale into it, you know, because I'll be getting a better price as it's going to the stop. But it's all about trade management. Okay, so let's have a little look, see what we've done when we did 24.28 on that. I'll fill that bit in later. So that has surged up quite a bit. You know, it's pushed us to a 24% increase on the balance in 8 days. Well, it's 9 days because there was a scratch trade. But essentially, it's 24% in a very short period of time. And it's 120 quid off pennies. Now, we are compounding up. Now, because we've done quite well today, the next position will be 71p. Grind it up. Okay, so happy days, happy days. And just so you can kind of see, that is there. There's the 6 quid we did yesterday. Amazing. And there we are. It surged back to where the target was, because the target was here. But it's still got some movement in it. But I'm not greedy, and I'm not going to chase the market either, because that can easily turn around at this point. And on this side, where I hold all my marks and everything I look at, it's kind of telling me this could be the stall point, which is kind of where the target was where it was. And sure enough, you're seeing two tails coming in now, and that's pushing away. So it was probably the right choice. Why the right choice? Because greed is a factor in trading. It's a big factor, and it's one of your failure rates. It's great to see a big trade, but it's also very dangerous to see a big trade, because once you've had a big winner, you're expecting, well, thanks very much. Talking of winners, she's invaded my office as well. This is not good. If you keep an eye on the videos, you'll start seeing her in here, because we've had to have new desks. Why?
A little bit at the end though.
This is the Scruffy Cave, Echo Base, not Winky Wonder. Me wondering where everything is. Okay.
You love it, really.
Yeah. She complained about my music. She took all my toys away yesterday and left that. That! Who the hell has one of them? You need a proper toy.
It's just settling you down.
Like that. Oh, bloody settle me down, alright.
What have you done with it?
I threw it away.
Oh.
So, anyway, as I was saying, if you have a big winner, you kind of expect them all to be big winners, and you're almost disappointed when they're not. So you're constantly craving that win again, and what that does is it actually puts you in front of the freight train. And if you're standing in front of a train, unless you're Superman, you ain't stopping it. All right? It'll just roll straight over the top of you, and that becomes dangerous. So greed is a factor. If you see it and you're targeted, brilliant. Take your money. Be pleased with what you've got. If you've got the ability to let something run, let it run. Now, when I'm day trading, I'm predominantly target driven. I will get in and I'll get out at a certain point, and I am happy at that point because I know what my pain threshold was, and I know what put my teeth back in. I know what the it's too early in the morning, guys. I haven't had my coffee. Yeah, pleasure threshold is, and the pleasure threshold is when you're happy with what you've got. All right, and it's that simple, guys. Now, when you're swing trading, I do let runners go because that's a different way of thinking. And if you go through the videos, you'll kind of see that. And it's really why I stage a lot of my trades. It helps me manage what I'm doing. All right. So anyway, this is done for another day. We'll have another look at it tomorrow. And this forward test will keep on going. If you're stuck, by all means go down into the description. You'll find plenty of helpful links, including my contact details. There's a 5% discount off the 5%ers if you want to try a prop fund. The one that I like is excellent because you can either go live into market straight away and earn profits, or you can do a boot camp for a very, very small buy-in, pass 3 challenges and end up with a 100,000 account. It's excellent. Go through my 5%ers videos and you'll see that journey. There's also BlackBull, which is a good broker, and at the time of the video has 500 to 1 leverage, so again it can stretch your pennies out. Okay, so as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.